Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is going to be a video all about how to build your arena nuke champion. What do I mean by that? I mean somebody that is an AoE based champion that is going to go in and slam the enemy and hopefully one-shot their whole team. What I'd like to do in this video though, just to make it a bit more fun, is show you a comparison of rares versus epics versus legendaries, all in exactly the same gear, so you can see the different level of power as you go through the different stages. A lot of people say to me, I've not pulled any top tier legendaries, I can't compete in this game. And actually I was on my Twitch stream last night. If you guys want to check me out, come and check me out, Hell Hades TV at Twitch. We have a lot of fun. I was on a Twitch stream last night. I was building somebody's Kael, and that Kael laid down nukes in the arena. It was a lot of fun. I even surprised myself with the amount of damage that he was doing. So I thought it'd be a really good series just to sort of show you how hard some of these rares can hit compared to someone like real top tier legendary champions. Now, if you guys are wondering where or who could fit into these different sort of fields, like a top tier nuker, I did put a video out a couple of weeks ago. Top arena nukers. I'll link it at the end of the video. There's a similar one really around top single target nukers if you're interested in that as well. For the arena, these are basically arena videos. And please subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't already. Let's get into this. So I'm going to start off with showing you the masteries that I would use for an arena nuker. I've got Kael good to go as my first test bed. So I'll do the masteries here. Everyone else I'm going to use, I've already built the masteries on, and they're all exactly the same as this. So I'm just going to make sure I copy it exactly the same. What I tend to do is crit rate into crit damage, into more damage when you've got full health. This one basically speeds you up as you kill people, but it also leads to this one, which is more important. More damage on the first hit that you do. We then get this one, which has a chance to reduce the cooldown on the skill you're going to use to nuke. This really just so I can lead into this. So more damage as I kill people, and then Helm Smasher. Helm Smasher is my preferred mastery for an arena nuker, like an all-out nuker. I then tend to take this second tree in defense, bit of defensive strength, less damage if I do take a hit, chance to remove a debuff here, bit less damage again, but mainly to lead into this, chance to counterattack if I take a big hit. The counterattack sometimes can be clutch to just take someone out. You could then take this one, which is good as well. Someone in a team gets a freeze, chance to counterattack. But in this build, I've gone for this one. 50% chance to increase turn meter if someone takes a big hit. Chances are, if that happens, you're dead anyway. But I want to make the same build on everyone. And this is the build I use for my main arena nuker right now. Got this one here, Opportunist. Increases damage inflicted to targets with stun, sleep, spheres, and stuff like that. Basically, because generally I use Madame Cerise. She can put fears out, true fears out. So there's a chance here that I can get another 12% damage. I also sometimes use Gurga as a freezer, and I sometimes use Nephril as a stun champ. So all of those things help me do more damage with that ability there. So it depends what your arena setup is. You might tweak this into maybe this, but this is my kind of normal nuker build. Okay, so Kael, what we're going to do, first we're going to show you how to build up a nuke champion. Then I'm going to use the same gear where I can on every champion and test their damage. So this is a different build probably to any other build you're going to do in the game. This is all about offense. Yeah, it's offense, but they need to go at a reasonable pace to stay up with your team. So my setup is going to be speed lead, speed boost into a second speed boost. Yeah, with immunity set. Doesn't need to be immunity set for what I'm doing here today. So speed boost into drop defenses into nuke. Same build for everybody. The one kind of cog I could change here is Lysandra. I could easily go speed boost into freeze or speed boost into stun. Yeah, or speed boost into taunt. Anything which is going to allow my nuker to get the first turn without taking any flak. So speed boost into some sort of control or more speed into drop turn meter. Into drop defenses into nuke. That's what we're going to do. So let's build him up. What we're looking for here is as much attack crit rate, and crit damage with a healthy speed as I can get. So we're actually going to need, let me just work this out a bit. So I'm running a pretty healthy speed on my Arbiter. That then chunks straight into my Lysandra. So I'm going to get 2 speed boosts before my guy goes. I'm going to get 2 30% speed boosts before my turn. So as long as I'm around 200 speed, I will be fast enough to not get cut in on. Okay. So yeah, so we're going to start here then. So this is one of the few times I would advocate using an attack-based ring and using attack percentage as the main thing you're looking for on a substat. I'm going to steal Foley's ring because I know it's strong. He's my current arena nuker. We're going to use him later as well. We're then going to go into a crit damage amulet. Crit damage is so important here. What we're doing, not substats. Main stat, crit damage. Crit damage is so important. It is where you get a lot of your extra additional damage. Again, I'm going to steal Foley's because we're going to put it back on him in a bit. And then we go into an attack-based banner. Again, one of the few times I would say attack-based banner is the way to go. Attack-based, hopefully with some speed on it if you can do that. I mean, this potentially, for the sake of 7 speed, you get another 30 attack. If this was 6-star, I would probably be putting this one on him. This one, for that extra 7 speed, maybe it's just worth using this one. But it's close. It's close. Anyway, there we go. So we've got our jewelry done. I always start with jewelry, guys. More speed here, and everywhere else it's about damage. Now, we're going to go for Savage Set. You don't have to do that. I'm doing it for my build. Savage Set is more of an endgame set. Immunity Set is an endgame set. But the type of stats I'm looking for, even if you're looking at 4-star gear, guys, don't tell me your gear is insane. It is insane because I'm in an insane place of the game. But the rules are the same for you. Okay? Forget the star rating of my gear. If you are at level 3 gear, it's the same rule. Okay? Get that into your heads. It's the same rule no matter where you are in the game. You just use the level of gear that you've got. I'm using Savage gear because it gives me a defense break. I don't need that, but it helps me hit harder. Okay? So what I'm going to do for filtering here is I'm actually going to go speed on the boots. But I'm going to rip the boots and gear from my Foley because, as I say, he's my current nuker, and therefore he's got what I perceive to be my best Savage gear. High speed with crit rate and attack. Crit rate, attack, speed. That's what you're looking for on these gears. And main stat speed, crit rate, and attack percentage is what you're after. Crit damage on there as well, then you're laughing. You've got better gear than I've got. On the chest, we want attack percentage. This is unusual. We don't normally say go for attack percentage on the chest, but for this setup, where we're trying to nuke as hard as we can, we want attack percentage, we want crit rate again, and we want crit damage. For the gloves, we definitely want crit damage on the gloves if you can build enough crit rate for the rest of your gear to get to 100%. If you cannot do that because your gear is not strong enough, then you would be changing this to crit rate gloves. And maybe where I've chosen crit rate as a substat, you might choose crit damage. You flip the two over. But for gold 4 upwards, you should be trying to find crit damage on your gloves for your nuker and trying to do them with speed and crit rate as the 2 substats. I question here if he's wearing my best set, but I've actually not got a really good pair of speed gear. I don't have an 80% crit damage set of speed gear gloves. So even I, guys, have not got the craziest gear in the world. Let's see if I got a better one. I mean, that for the extra speed may be better, but I really know that I need that crit rate to get myself up to the 100. So here we go. Two pieces of speed, 1 piece savage so far. We're going to move up to the shield. And the shield I know is going to be savage now. The rest of this is going to be savage set. So Foley is wearing 13% crit rate with speed with crit damage. Same pieces that I'm looking for again. If I could have swapped that accuracy out for an attack percentage, that would be the perfect piece of gear. Same sort of idea on the next one. Just take those off because I know that it's all on Foley. So we've got more crit rate and attack percentage. I don't have one, I guess, with enough crit rate and speed on it. I'll do have one with some speed on it. Not enough crit rate on that one. More crit rate than I need here, and a little bit of speed. So I guess I've gone for this one because of that massive roll in attack percentage, and it gave me my crit rate, and it was already enough speed in this build. And then the final piece is the weapon. Here it is. So we've gone again, speed, crit rate, crit damage, and there's accuracy on it again. This would be great, but it doesn't give me enough crit rate. Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure that I get myself to 100%. This one's so good because it's got such a nice roll of speed on it as well. So I end up with a build that is nearly 4k attack. It's not crazy high, but it's because I'm in Savage gear. Nearly 4k attack, 211 speed, 99% crit rate. Cue the memes. 99% is decent. It's not 100. I wish it was 100. It's not. I don't have good enough Savage gear. 216% crit damage. They're the only stats I care about. 1, 2, 3, 4. The rest of the stats I couldn't care less about. Okay? So this is what we've done with. If I just quickly show you someone else who's built for damage that is not in Savage set, my ethos is. So my ethos has got same sort of speed, same sort of crit rate, a bit more crit damage, a ton more attack. That's the difference. So that's what I'm sacrificing to go into Savage gear. A load of attack. But that the stat break, the ignore 25% defense is worth more to me than that extra 1,000 attack. So this is my build. I'm going to use the same gear set on everyone with the same masteries. Let's do it. Let's see what we can hit for. So what I'm going to do is pick one team in my refresh list. So I'm in plat. I'm in super high end game, guys. So every team here is going to be really, really strong. This team looks good. I'm going to try and avoid for the sake of this. I actually need to fight a Torment team so I can just fight the same team over and over again, which might mean I'm going to get frozen up and stuff. But I'm going to try and fight this team. What's my best way to do this? So I'm actually better off. I don't really want to fight a Rotus, if I'm honest. I wonder if I can find a Torment team with no Rotus. I want a Torment team so I can just reset the fight over and over again. We've got a bunch of tanks here. I don't really want to fight a bunch of tanks. We could fight a bunch of tanks, but I don't really want to. I want to show you a realistic kind of view of damage. Torment team. Here we go. This is the one. So I might get frozen up a bunch here. If I do, I'm just going to reset it. The best, absolute best kind of scenarios that you've got immunity gear in this sort of level of plat. This guy, whoever I'm fighting here, I didn't even see the name, is about to get a bunch of points. I'm about to boost him high in plat because I'm going to not kill him at all. So we're going to go, I'm not going to go speed boost twice because Torment is likely to freeze me. So I'm going to go for my Nephril to drop their turn meter as my second champ. We're then going to go Madame Cerise, and then for this first fight, Kael. Let's see what damage we do. Hopefully I'm fast enough. Should be fast enough. So yeah, so I'm fast enough by a decent amount. I'm going to just use this one. If I use this one, I increase my attack, which means I'm going to hit harder. Maybe I should just try that and hope I don't get frozen. Yeah, that's the problem. Still might get a chance to do the attack. Let's see. I think Trunda might go before me. No, we're going to go. So first hit going off. This is the Kael then. Kael dropping the nukes. He's got increased attack up. They've got decreased defense across the board. Slams in basically 70s, 80s, 90s. I'm going to top this up. So I'm just going to leave the battle. Kael done. Okay, second one then we're going to use is Bellower. Bellower, same masteries as I just shown you. Same gear, just moved it on. You will notice that Bellower's base attack is lower, which means that the overall attack's going to rate lower. But let's get him into the arena. Same fight again. Okay, look, I kept getting frozen up. So I've changed just one thing of the setup. Doesn't actually make a difference here, but I put Lysandra in instead of Nephril. So I've got one less person who's going to get frozen, hopefully. So I just don't want him to be frozen, please. He isn't. So what I can actually do with Lysandra here, because everyone else has got enough turn meter, I can just deplete the Arbiter's turn meter, and then it'll be a much more safe chance. So drop their defenses. We've got increased attack. Let's throw in the Bellower Slam. What are we going to do here? Much less. 27s, 25s, that sort of thing across the board. So Bellower definitely is nowhere near a Kael for nuking. Let's go on to the epics. Okay, so far, Kael did nearly 310,000 damage on his hit. Bellower did less than 100,000, so 3 times less damage than the Kael. There's obviously some procs of things like Helm Smasher coming in, so that could account for some of it, but that was still a massive hit. I built the Talia up in the same way. Her base attack is actually very high, so she gets a higher multiplier. Let's do this. Let's do this. Congratulations, Nemesis. You're going to be first place this week with all of this rank up. So if you see the order I'm doing it is non-void void, non-void void for each of the different ranks. Okay, here we go. Frozen. No good. There's an extra few points for your Nemesis. Try again. Not frozen. Okay, cool. Don't care if she's frozen. Same thing again. We're going to drop the Arbiter's turn meter so she doesn't get a go. We're going to slam down their defenses. We've got increased attack. Now, Talia has this triple hit here. She might even freeze herself. I don't know if this freezes herself or not. She might freeze herself. Let's see. So she's got a triple hit here, but she buffs herself first. Please work. Did work still. Great. Okay. So I've pretty much saw that was 75s across the board. I'll top that up again, and let's see where we get to on that one. Okay, so Talia came in at just over 300,000 damage, so about 10,000 less than Kael. Kael is still in the lead. We've now got Skull Crown as the Void Epic. Probably thought as the best arena epic, or best arena champion epic and down. So if you're not including legendaries here, thought as the best. She's got a very high base attack, which means you scale her attack up really high. The rest is obviously going to be the same. Same masteries again. Let's try this fight. We might be running out of amount of times I can fight this fight. I'm not sure. I think there's a cap. Let's make sure I'm picking the right one. I think it's the second one. 7, yeah. Yeah, my main one that I use in Arena generally has got immunity set on. This is working. Here we go. What is Skull Crown going to do? Is she going to knock Kael off of the pedestal? Slam! That was big. That was 317,336. About 10k more than Kael. Plus, we had to eat for a bit of shield. So it's probably about more like 20 to 30k more than Kael. So Skull Crown does warrant her high praise. We're going to do a build now on a couple of legendaries. Okay, first one I'm going to throw in there is my Foley. This is my actual arena nuker. This is actually what I put out there. He is he's my arena beast. Why do I use Foley? Because he's got a double hits and he's got an ability to deal with freezes. It might mean that he runs out of turn order a couple of times while we're testing. Let's see. But basically, he has got his own inbuilt immunity. Is he going to steal the show? Might be. Maybe not. No, we're good. We're good. So he comes in. Now, he's also got block revive. We've got no decreased defense here. It's probably a good thing because he might just kill them all outright. He might kill them all outright. Let's see. He has killed them all outright. So I've gone back over the footage. It was very difficult to see, so it's so fast. But basically, he did 310k. But he's wiped him out because they've got block revive. So I cannot fight this team again, Nemesis. Your job is done. Thank you very much. So what I can show you quickly then is just 2 other champions in Legendary that have got builds already done. I'm not going to change the gear over again. I've already spent most of my silver doing this stuff. I'll show you this ethos in this build. So we already talked about it. High attack, same sort of crit and crit damage, but without the savage gear. And I want to show you as well just an AoE defense-based champion. So Norog has got very good multipliers on this A2. I use him in my clan boss team right now. So his build is actually, maybe I do just change his masteries quickly. His masteries are set up for clan boss. I'm just going to change that to Helm Smasher quick. Same build as I've done on these other guys. And although it won't be against the same team, so it can't be counted as quite a fair test as what we've already seen. Hopefully you'll get a good idea of what somebody who is defense based, so the same type of build, but as a defensive based champion. So hopefully that speeds enough. High defense instead of high attack. That's how you get their damage up. 100%, 218. It's almost exactly the same, but not in savage. So we're going to show Norog, and then we're going to show Ethos just to round off the video for a bit of fun. Let's see if we can get someone half similar. So we can do this for the Ethos slam. Migrate Hall's going into the dirt. Okay, cool. So what do we want to do here? We can just kill this turn meter from Arbiter, and then we don't need to worry about any more chances to freeze. Remove their defenses, and then because we've got Rotus in the mix, Ethos comes in with a triple hit slam. Let's see what sort of damage this does. Basically 20 to 30k per hit. So we're talking about 90k, or between 60 and 90k per person that he's just done there. Which is pretty savage, I would say. Let's throw Norog into this fight. But he sits pretty much on par with the Foley, with the Skull Crown. All similar levels of damage. We're not seeing like... In fact, between Kael, Skull Crown, Talia, Foley, Ethos so far, we've seen a difference of maybe 30,000 overall damage split between 4 people. It's not a lot, guys. There's not a massive amount of difference here. Norog can't really fight a Rotus team, actually, because he doesn't have a multi-hitter. I expect they're all Rotus, are they? Everyone except these. This might work. So, Norog as the last one. Now, buffing attack doesn't help a Norog. That's the only thing here. Buffing attack won't help a Norog. Buffing defense helps a Norog. I mean, they're absolute tanks. And a bad affinity. That's not going to work. Tanks. This could work. This could work. Fingers crossed. Last thing of the video. Can we get Norog to lay down the beats? He does not get frozen. He's brilliant in the meta. Doesn't get frozen at all. I don't even need to risk speeding this up here, because we are faster than all of these except Sifi. Sifi, I think we're faster anyway. Yeah, we're faster anyway. I can just try and drop her turn meter with an A1, which we got. So we can go decrease defense. These are all tanks. Increase my defense. This is a chance to freeze us. Please don't freeze us. Great. I've got increased defense. Didn't really want this shield up. I've got increased defense, increased crit rate. Let's see if I can just take their turn meter back a little bit more. And now they've got all sorts on. Oh, 78k hit just with his A1. Man, can we get rid of some of this stuff? Got rid of most of it. Just by the time Norog gets his next swing, I just want to get rid of most of it. We're all good. Just an A1 here. Hopefully this gets rid of some of those increased defenses. I'm going to chance it. Okay, this is the swing, guys. This is the swing. We do have a couple of shields up. We've got an increased defense here, so it's going to increase defense here as well. It's going to reduce the damage he does a bit. Let's see what he does, though. 90k on the guy that had no increased defense up. It's savage. It's savage. He can be built to be your nuker for sure. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. It turns out that Skull Crown won the day. and there's very little difference between Kael and top tier legendary champions in AoE nuking. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'll catch you in a video soon.